Welcome to my radio show. I'm Rick Garcia as we get ever so close to the wonderful holiday season here. You're listening to us on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. And you can see us live on Facebook Live. We want to say hi to our Facebook friends at KHTS Radio. You can also find my radio show on YouTube, the My Radio Show podcast, on your KHTS radio app, which we highly recommend downloading, or at hometownstation.com. If you want to be part of the show, you can post us at Facebook Live at KHTS Radio, or call us at 661-298-5487.
My headlines.
My headlines are brought to you by Frontier Toyota, the Lakers and Bucks in an NBA Finals preview. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 5 3-pointers. He scored 34 points. The Bucks had their way with the Lakers, 111-104. And the Lakers host Denver Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on Spectrum Sports Net. The Clippers hosted Houston. They blow a 15-point halftime lead. Russell Westbrook poured in 40 points to lead the comeback. The Rockets beat the Clippers 122-117. The Clippers head to San Antonio tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. tip-off on Fox Sports Prime Ticket. The Rams cling to slim playoff hopes. They're going to be desperate when they head to Santa Clara to face the San Francisco 49ers tomorrow at 5:15 on the NFL Network. The Rams have to win their remaining 2 games and hope for 2 straight Minnesota losses. And could the next 2 weeks be Phillip Rivers' swan song with the San Diego Chargers? Rivers is 38. He's a free agent at the end of the season. He has thrown 21 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. The Chargers host the Oakland Raiders Sunday in Carson at 105 on CBS. Patrick Suika's with us. Patrick, you got some big plans this weekend?
We got, well, not only do we have Christmas coming up, Rick, but this Sunday, I'm actually, me and my family are going out to celebrate my mom's birthday that happened on this past Wednesday.
Oh, happy birthday to your mom.
Well, thank you, Rick.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you got a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun stuff.
I am, speaking of fun, I'm excited to have with us tonight as our guest host. April Duran is not here today, and so filling in, and he's got some big shoes to fill. Our guest has been known in the community as the lead pastor of Real Life Church in Santa Clarita for the past 16 years, right? According to my public school math. He's the author of several books. He's also has a guilty pleasure, though. He's like the rest of us. He's a big sports fan. And welcome to my radio show, Rusty George, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Listen, you we have to say you don't come without credentials. You played some college level athletics, correct?
I did. I played basketball at a very small college in Missouri. There are no highlights on SportsCenter or Archives, YouTube, anything like that. Not at all.
Well, where'd you play and what position? And
I played at a small college called Ozark Christian College out of Joplin, Missouri. We were in the National Christian College Athletic Association. We were fortunate enough to win the national title twice.
While you were there?
While I was there, in my 4 years there.
Wow.
I had some amazing statistics. I averaged about 28 minutes on the bench. Flawless there.
No mistakes.
Absolutely. Never tripped, fell, or tripped anyone else. But I was there 4 years.
Okay, I'm 6'2". I know you're taller than me. Are you about 6'4"?
Yeah, 6'3".
6'3". Okay, you play taller.
I do. That's right.
Did you play like
Long
a big man, or
wingspan.
what position did you play?
Well, here's the problem. I grew up a Lakers fan, and I grew up a Magic Johnson fan. I know you and I both share that affinity. And so I wore number 32.
Okay.
I wanted to be Magic Johnson.
You wanted to be a 6'9" point guard.
Absolutely. So I always wanted to play point guard.
Sure.
But they kept sticking me down at the 4 or the 3.
The low post, yeah.
And I just wanted to, throw no-look passes, and do baby hooks.
Oh, you had a job, though. Your job was to get the ball off the glass and get it out to the guys who can pass, right?
That's true.
So, all right, we're going to make you declare your team loyalties for us right now.
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
NFL, because I grew up in Kansas, I am a Kansas City Chiefs fan, long-suffering.
All right. Chiefs.
That's something to be proud of. Yeah,
I dig it.
Okay, they're a bit of a sexy pick right now. Everybody loves Patrick Mahomes.
Well, you've always been.
I've always
Mahomes.
been.
Yeah.
I was back there with Steve Fuller, Steve DeBerg. We even had a little bit of time with David Craig when he came over after his time with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Montana, Marcus Allen.
I was actually at the very first Joe Montana game.
Wow,
And it was Montana, Marcus Allen. It was a Monday night game. They're playing the Broncos, and they did not score a touchdown. They won 15-9. no touchdowns.
Wow.
Rather boring.
Baseball,
Baseball, Kansas City Royals.
the Royals. How did you wind up a Lakers fan then?
Okay, so all of my allegiances of sports teams are based on, the first thing I ever saw. So Chiefs, Royals, because they're on TV all the time.
Yeah.
There was no NBA. The Kansas City Kings had already left. I remember one Sunday.
Wait, does the name Sam Lacey mean anything?
Sam Lacey does not mean a lot to me right
Doesn't?
now. I apologize. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
wasn't he one of the original Royals NBA guys? You're
the
substantially
Kansas-
younger than me.
Wow. Okay.
I
No.
think it was. I thought Sam Lacey
That name was
a,
before
you
my
don't know.
time.
Why am I looking at you? You're like 12.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Rick.
Okay, I
So-
could be wrong about that, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I stayed home from church one day because I was sick, and the NBA was on, and it was Magic Johnson and the Lakers, early 80s, and I
Oh
was
my
hooked.
gosh,
Yeah.
absolutely Showtime era. Of course, being a man of faith that you are, I always wonder sometimes how that plays into our athletics. We have one of the greatest plays in all of sports called the Immaculate Reception. That was the Pittsburgh Steelers, Franco Harris
Right.
against the Raiders. I call it the Immaculate Connection. It was the home run by Kirk Gibson against the Oakland A's. Now, I used to interview Tommy Lasorda quite often. He always referred to the big Dodger in the sky. Now, would you clarify us? Does God play favorites when it comes to sports teams?
I would have to say probably not, and it's obvious he doesn't particularly enjoy my sports teams. Now, some of them have done quite well, obviously the Lakers, but the Chiefs and Royals, not so much.
So there's no divine intervention. Now, by the way, nobody prays harder than sports fans, whether they're religious or not. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We've all prayed
They're
for him.
like the-
Yes, indeed.
And they were cursing at the same time. When
Absolutely,
our teams were,
yeah.
God,
And then-
what is it?
then
I told you, I probably shared, I'll do this real quickly, that one of the great Tommy Lasorda stories was regarding a guy by the name of Chuck Connor. Chuck Connors was the rifleman in the old black and white 50s or 60s TV series, but he was a minor league baseball player in the Dodgers organization. And apparently he was in one of the world's longest slumps. I mean, he just couldn't hit anything. Strikeout, pop-ups to the catcher, just was falling apart. And finally, he comes around to where he's just starting to make some good contact, and you think he's coming out of a slump. Drives a ball deep to the outfield. This ball is on its way out of here, and the guy on the other team reaches over the fence, pulls the ball back in, and as Connors is jogging to first base, he collapses to his knees, looks up to the sky, and says, "God, why don't you come down here and fight me like a man?" Tommy Lasorda's best stories. All right, you want to have some fun and talk sports then?
Let's do
We
it.
want to find
Let's
okay,
do it.
here we do.
Let's go.
Let's start off with that Lakers game. You're a big Lakers fan. Last night, they looked. I'll put it bluntly. They only lost 111 to 104, but it was much worse than that. Would you
Yeah.
agree with that?
It was.
I felt like Giannis had his way with the team. He had 34 points, 11 rebounds. LeBron was 21 and 12 and 11 assists, so he had a seventh triple double of the season. AD 36 points and 10 rebounds. Here's the problem with the Lakers, and I think this is going to be a problem for the rest of the year. The bench was outscored. I don't know if did you see the number on this? The bench was outscored 34-4.
Yay.
They got 4 points off the bench.
Yep.
That you can't just win with two guys.
No, and I think this is where you're beginning to see the problems with their lack of experience. I mean, obviously, Danny Green has tremendous title experience, even back to his time at North Carolina. LeBron does. But some of these guys, this is their first go-around in really big situations.
Yeah.
They always say you have to lose it before you can win it. And even though the Bucks didn't make it to the finals last year to lose it, they made it far enough. Giannis becomes MVP. He just looks, I mean, his numbers are way up from last year.
Spectacular, yeah.
He's averaging, 31 a game as opposed to 27 last year. I mean, he looks like he's ready for prime time. And this was a glaring weakness between Anthony Davis and him. And unfortunately, Anthony Davis has hit just enough threes to keep shooting. So
Well,
he keeps putting it up.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. So when you pull out a Kawhi Leonard like in the Clippers to give him a break, or you pull out Giannis for the Bucks. In the case of the Bucks, they can put a guy like George Hillen who can score. For the Clippers, it's Lou Williams.
Yeah.
Who's that guy in the Lakers?
Well, I think the loss of Kuzma right now really sets them back because then everybody moves up a peg in the rotation. Yeah. And then they have to go even deeper. Caruso's not hitting. Some of these guys, because of their lack of experience, they don't play well on the road, and so you lose that. And Rondo's never been a great shooter.
No.
Yeah.
Now, I will give tremendous props to our friend Mike Penberthy. Santa Clarita zone.
Yep, former Laker.
Former Laker, who is an assistant coach with them now. He has improved their shooting dramatically. They're in the top 5 of three-point shooters. They just didn't do it well last night.
Problem, Rusty, is he can't suit up and go shoot, can he?
That's true.
Right?
He could still hit.
I mean,
He'd tell you that.
Even the Bucks had Corver, by the way, who was available,
Right.
can
We
come in
lost
and
out.
shoot threes, right?
Yep.
So the glaring hole for the Lakers is their bench. I mean, and so to me, and now you're right, Kuzma could develop into that. I think they're going to have to go out and get somebody.
Yeah.
What do you think about this talk of them trading probably draft picks to get Andre Iguodala?
I don't know that. I mean, I don't know that he. What do you like about Iguodala that they don't have right now?
Championship pedigree.
I mean, that's true.
Well, LeBron has plenty of that.
Yeah, for one player.
Yeah.
I think
Didn't Rondo win one with the Celtics?
He did win one with the Celtics. That's true. But something about AI. He was an MVP in the finals too.
That's
Golden
true.
State.
I kind of like with Iguodala on just for this. He's got great defense. He's a good locker room guy, leadership, and he's been there before.
Is he a sharpshooter?
He's not a
He's
sharpshooter.
not a sharpshooter, but he does create some defensive problems.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, my bigger concern is not only the bench; they could need another star player because Anthony Davis has yet to commit. They traded the farm for him, and I don't have a problem with who they traded to New Orleans to get him. But he has been interviewed quite a bit this week. And very recently, to Stephen A. Smith on ESPN, he said this.
I'll still look at it as, we'll see what happens at the end of the season. Obviously, the season's going great so far, and I'm trying to stay in the moment and worry about that when the season's over. But I feel like we can do something special this year. With the team that we put together and the coaching staff that we have, I don't think that no one can beat us but the Los Angeles Lakers. So, when that time comes, I'll think about it and see what's going on. But right now, I'm trying to focus on this year and win a championship with the Lakers.
So, Anthony Davis, good businessman, or should the Lakers be worried?
I think this is just good business. I mean, he's where he wants to be. He always wanted to be a Laker. He always wanted to play with LeBron. If he comes out and says, I'm not going anywhere, well, his asking price just goes way down.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, all right. I mean, listen, I think if we were talking about this before the show, too, the Rams are in a similar situation with Jalen Ramsey. They gave up 2 first-round draft picks. He is yet to be re-signed to a new deal. And the player carries the leverage the longer it goes out, I think, because now everybody comes calling. And, boy, it's never been – you grew up loving the Magic Johnson Lakers. For me, Wilt Chamberlain was my basketball idol as a kid, the Jerry West years. And then when Magic came along with the Showtime thing, I mean, that was like the greatest thing, I think, in sports, period, at that time. And the rivalry with the Celtics was a wonderful thing. Then the Kobe era comes along, and I just wasn't – I had a hard time with my team. I didn't enjoy the selfishness of Shaq and Kobe and whose team is it, and it's my team, no, it's your team. And, when it was Magic would be saying it's Kareem's team, Kareem would say it's Magic's team, and everybody agreed it was Mr. Buss's team. And so now I'm enjoying the camaraderie and the teamwork again.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels as close to Showtime as we've experienced.
As we've seen. How about the Clippers? Big question about it, how real they are, because I think most of us believe it's probably going to come down to the Lakers and the Clippers. Surprisingly, yesterday, the Clippers were having their way with the Houston Rockets. In fact, the Rockets were down 16 with 3 minutes to play in that game. Russell Westbrook, a UCLA guy, scored 40 points. He had 10 rebounds, and he helped lead the Rockets back in that game. James Harden added 28 points for the Clippers. It was Paul George with 34 and Kawhi Leonard with 25. Here's the question for you guys. By the way, there was some chippiness in the game. Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook, they kind of go at each other.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trash talking going on. Beverley got tossed, and while he was being thrown out of the game and going to the locker room, Westbrook started trash talking him, and he got a technical, which not a good idea when somebody's been kicked out to go after him. I'm surprised Westbrook didn't get tossed out. Question is, are the Clippers for real?
Well, in my opinion, they're definitely for real.
Yeah.
The Clippers have something that I think everybody's kind of overlooking, in that they actually have 4 over 20-point scores. Because they not only have the ones we keep talking about, Kawhi and Paul George, but they have Harrell and they have Williams, who are averaging in the 20s. So teams keep talking about the big 3 or even the dynamic duo, but these guys have 4, and they're well coached and they can play defense. So they're very scary for all Laker fans.
Yes.
I think that's what made the Warriors so good, too, is people forget about their depth. They were usually guys you couldn't name, but they'd come off
Right.
the bench, and the team would keep scoring. They didn't lose much when that happened.
Right.
Little something going on between Doc Rivers and LeBron James. I mean, I don't want to call it a feud. I don't want to overstate this, but there's been a lot of talk about load management in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard misses a lot of games. As a fan, and NBA guys, they're not. Baseball guys play a lot more than the NBA guys do, and I realize there's it's hard to compare. You're talking about guys who are running up and down the court all the time. You don't see NFL guys miss a game. I mean, they've got they got a dislocated kneecap. They're trying to come back and play like Mahomes. NBA, they're this new idea of resting their bodies. I get that. Fans don't like it. The NBA doesn't like it. The Clippers do not apologize for it. They rest Kawhi a lot. But here's an interesting comment from LeBron James, who, by the way, when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers, they rested him with every opportunity they got. But LeBron decided to step into this, and he said, "Why would I play if I'm healthy? Why would I sit if I'm healthy? It's hard. It doesn't make any sense to me that I would not play if I'm not feeling good." Now, he's not a young guy, and I think it's smart of the Lakers to rest him. They haven't sat him down yet all this season. Doc Rivers, though, said this.
It's our philosophy. I don't know what theirs are. I think theirs is whatever LeBron says it is. To be honest, that makes a lot of sense to me. But no, I think I like what we're doing. I think it's the smart thing to do, and who knows? We'll see at the end.
Basically, Doc saying, well, their policies, whatever LeBron says it is.
Yeah, I caught that little chippy remark there. That was pretty good.
What do you think? Load management good or bad for the game of
Bad
basketball?
for the NBA, especially if you're, let's say you're a dad wanting to take your family to a game and you shell out a couple $100 and you go down there and make a night of it. And guess what? Your favorite player isn't playing. Yeah. You got people sitting out there with their jersey on, even a visiting team. And that's, oddly enough, the way the Clippers used to sell tickets was, they put the visiting star on the ticket. Yeah. So anyway, with LeBron and with others, and I think it's even in Kawhi's contract, how much load management he gets.
And by the way, I would love to see that contract. There have been so many reports about how unrealistic. I think his uncle negotiates his deal, and how they took the Lakers for a ride and making all these demands. I want to have nothing but blue M&Ms in my trailer. I want the kind of demand you hear from divas and things like that.
Exactly. And I just think that's probably one of the reasons he didn't get along with Popovich and had to leave when everybody else seems to get along with Pop. But this is, it's bad for the NBA. It's probably good for the team itself, and certainly good for the player. But it's a catch-22.
Rusty George from Real Life Church joining us on my radio show. Coming up, a Rams tough guy has some words of encouragement for Saugus High School. And he said he couldn't play in his team's game because he was sick. So why was he out boating? Plus, we're going to give away some free stuff. My radio show with Rick Garcia, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Valencia.
Down in the heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is a wasted time. Look inside your heart and I look inside mine. Things look so...
Why do people from all over Santa Clarita come to our spa in Canyon Country? Simple. They want the highest quality services at prices that everyone can afford. This is Rosemary from Beyond Harmony Med Spa. Read our reviews and know why we won the Ultimate Beauty Awards 2 years in a row by the readers of Elite Magazine. Come and see how close we really are and experience the level of excellence that our clients have loved for the past 13 years. Go to beyondharmony.com or call 298-8008 today for a free consultation.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you.
Western Bagel has been serving signature bagels, sandwiches, and hand-roasted coffee since 1947. They're family-owned and operated with 11 locations across SoCal, including Santa Clarita on Bouquet and the Old Kmart Shopping Center. Western Bagel makes their own whipped cream cheese, offering over 10 flavors along with other goodies, pastries, cookies, and muffins. Delicious Western Bagels. Check out their Bagel Brad Deal of the Week, emailed to you every Monday when you register at westernbagel.com.
Hey, we're trying to breathe down here.
Oh, not again. Don't people know that when they dump their used oil improperly, it makes its way to the Santa Clara River? Oh, you should tell them how they can recycle it.
Well, it's simple. Go to greensantaclarita.com to find the oil recycling location nearest you. And take your used motor oil and filters there to be recycled. It's free.
You can even find where to pick up a free oil change kit to make it easier.
Frontier Toyota, a proud supporter of my radio show with Rick Garcia, serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting 2020 Toyota lineup. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
This holiday music is brought to you by Providence Holy Cross Medical Center, your community health partner. To learn more about our award-winning care, call 1-888-HEALING or visit us on the web at providence.org.
Mission Valley Bank puts the community in community banking. They strive to be your most trusted bank. Mission Valley Bank is happy to sponsor KHTS holiday music. Happy holidays!
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Hometown.
All day long, constantly.
Your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220. Hometown.
Santa Clarita News.
Your community connection.
Girls bounce embezzlement sentencing, Saugus brush fire, and Canyon High kicker goes all state. Hey, this is Jade Absham with the KHTS News Team, and here's what's going on in Santa Clarita. A Santa Clarita Girl Scouts treasurer who embezzled over $90,000 was sentenced to 1 year in jail and 5 years of felony probation on Friday. 52-year-old Santa Clarita resident Patricia Castione had pled no contest to one felony count of embezzlement by a public or private officer earlier this week. Castione had been the CFO of the Beverly Hills Cancer Center and the volunteer treasurer for 2 Santa Clarita chapters of Girl Scouts. A brush fire in Saugus prompted a response from firefighters on Friday afternoon. Dubbed the Plum Incident, the fire grew to be only a quarter acre before being put out. The far right lane of westbound Plum Canyon Road is closed in both directions for an unknown duration. Canyon kicker and soccer player Jarrett Reeser earned Max Prep's California First Team All-State honors for his standout 2019 season. Reeser's best game as a Cowboy came against Hart High, where he went 2 for 2 on field goals over 40 yards, 2 for 2 on pats, and halted the return of a kickoff. For more on these stories and other local news happening in the Santa Clarita Valley, make sure you head on over to hometownstation.com. And now for weather. So today we are looking at a lovely, mostly sunny day with highs in the low 70s and lows in the mid 40s. Over the weekend, we've got some rain coming on Sunday and Monday with a little bit of a give for Christmas itself. Don't forget to stay dry.
Welcome back to my radio show. I'm Rick Garcia. If you want to be a part of our show, you can call us at 661-298-5487. You can also post us on Facebook Live at KHTS Radio. We're thrilled to have as a guest host today Rusty George from Real Life Church. He's here for April Duran. Rusty, thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. This is fun.
We wanted to talk a little bit about, if we could, Last week we had Rams defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph Day on the show. He's been a recurring guest for us, and he was kind enough to give a little shout out to the folks over at Saugus High School.
Huge shout out to Saugus High School and the tragedy that they went through. No one should ever have to go through that. The parents, the family, and the families as well. So I said the Rams send our condolences to Saugus High School. Nice. But yes, definitely. As an athlete, I feel like you take on that responsibility at the moment you sign up for this profession. Because so many kids and so many people are just looking up to you and what you do because you're in such a high platform and you're always on TV and so many people see you. So yes, I feel like it's a sense of responsibility that us as athletes definitely have to take and make sure we're shining a positive light out for our youth. And not even our youth, just for families in general, just to make sure that they have something positive to look forward to, no matter what it is. If it's us playing, or if it's us just doing things outside of football, off the field, on and off the field.
That's friend of the show, Sebastian Joseph Day. He's a defensive tackle for the Los Angeles Rams, and he was kind enough to make a reference to Saugus High School. Of course, we were very much aware of the terrible, tragic shooting that took place here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Some of the victims' families there call Real Life Church home. So my question for you, Rusty, is how are they holding up?
I think it's been very difficult. Obviously, the first week was met with a lot of adrenaline, shock, and comfort from friends and family in the community here in Santa Clarita. I've said this before. I've just never been so proud to be part of Santa Clarita as I was during those couple of weeks after the events. I think what happens now is reality kicks in. Families gone home. The funerals are over. Kids are back in school, and the families that are really wrestling with this that I have talked to are moving into other stages of grief, anger, just deep frustration as to how and why and what did we not see. I had a conversation with one of the leaders at Saugus High, and he just said, listen, the students are up and down with their emotions, with the teachers. They're really struggling because they feel like they have to be the strong one for all the kids in the class. And so for everybody listening, I would encourage you, really pray for those teachers and support them. And I know we always do end-of-year gifts for our teachers, but, boy, they really need it this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no question about that. And one thing I did point out to Sebastian, a lot of times athletes, I think people don't realize, there's always the negative things we focus on, but boy, some of these men and women who are professionals are so generous to the community, so supportive. The teams as a whole do a lot for the community. I don't like to see when that's overlooked sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
So it's good that we had that. Meantime, we high school activities, schools are because of the holidays, everybody's kind of taking a break, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing happening high school-wise.
Friday Night Lights. Hello, and welcome to Friday Night Lights on my radio show with Rick Garcia. This is KHTS co-sports director Wyatt Smith, and this week, we review the 2019 Foothill League Football Awards. First up, Golden Valley running back Jonathan Kalin was named the Player of the Year as he helped propel the Grizzlies to an 8-2 record as he racked up a Foothill League leading 1,555 total yards and 23 touchdowns. Kalin plans to continue playing at the next level and is in contact with several schools, but has not received any official offers yet. Next up, the Offensive Player of the Year selection was Hart senior quarterback Zach Johnson, who threw for 2,788 yards and 27 touchdowns, while adding another 246 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground, on the way to a 7-5 record with the Indians. Johnson is expected to continue his football career next year at UC Berkeley. On the defensive side, West Ranch linebacker Zachary Van Bennekom was named Defensive Player of the Year. The Wildcat senior was a force to be reckoned with as he recorded 19 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. Additionally, Van Bennekom was a key part of his team leading the Foothill League in forced turnovers as he came away with 6 interceptions on the year. Finally, the lineman of the year was Valencia senior Owen Hand. Hand joins a long line of Valencia players to take home the honor, as the Vikings are known for producing some of the best linemen to take to the trenches in the Foothill League. He follows Valencia alumni and current COC football player Ben Seymour, who won the award last year. In addition to the Player of the Year selections, the full list of first-team all-offense and all-defense selections is available on our website. But you can expect more inside looks from basketball, soccer, and more each week on Friday Night Lights as we enter the new year. But that's it for this week's Friday Night Lights. Catch our segment each week on my radio show with Rick Garcia. And for all your Foothill League scores, recaps, and everything Santa Clarita sports, follow @KHTS Sports on Twitter, like our Facebook page, and go to hometownstation.com.
La situación de tercera oportunidad y corto yardaje, tercer y gol. Los Ángeles Rams ya rompen a la línea de golpeo. En formación de shotgun, van a ir al aire. A la esquina, el envío completo. ¡Touchdown Rams!
Okay, so if I didn't tell you the Rams lost last weekend, you would have thought they won based on that play-by-play, right?
Well, it sounded quite victorious.
Let me tell you something. That's the best thing that happened that whole game. The Rams got torn apart by the Dallas Cowboys. That was Rams announcer Troy Santiago describing Jared Goff's pass to Todd Gurley for a touchdown that tied the game 7-7. And it was all downhill from there. Let's hear it again, Patrick.
La situación de tercera oportunidad y corto yardaje, tercer y gol. Los Ángeles Rams ya rompen a la línea de golpeo. En formación de shotgun, van a ir al aire. A la esquina, el envío completo. ¡Touchdown Rams!
See, it sounds like we won, doesn't it?
I would just go with that. I think you end your season right there with that
I'm
one.
with you on that one. All right. What do you say, Patrick?
It is definitely.
Okay, you know
News
what?
to me.
This is a huge sport out in England. Dart throwing. You ever watch that? Either one of you guys watch dart throwing?
The early days of ESPN.
No. Did you ever goof around and play darts?
We had a dartboard in the basement. I wasn't any good at it.
Was it family? You mean in the family?
Yeah,
basement?
absolutely.
Did you accidentally hit family members?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I don't know if accident's really the word. Yeah.
Well, they take it so seriously in Great Britain. Fallon Sherrick, though, is the first female dart player to beat a man at the PDC World Championship on Tuesday. That's a big deal because she beat Ted Evans. I want to show you my dart knowledge. She beat Ted Evans 3-2, and she made 6 180s.
Wow.
6 180s. That's a perfect score for 3 darts for those of you keeping score at home. She had a match average of 91 in the first round. It's a big deal because having women compete against the men, women have their own league. Why can't they play together? I mean, unlike, say, football, I'll even go as far as like soccer or baseball or physical activities which may give one sex the advantage. Why can't they play darts against each other?
I am not even going to comment.
You don't
on
want
this.
you're staying out of.
No.
Oh my gosh!
Not to mention,
Chicken.
I've got a Ted Evans poster on my wall, so I was really
Did you
disappointed
really?
when he went down.
Oh man!
No, it's the first time I'm ever hearing that name.
No, you know what? But I don't know why they couldn't. I'll bet you they're. Well, see, now you got me worried about what I'm going to say. Here's another report of a player who supposedly is under the weather or injured and can't play, but. Deion Waiters, who plays for the Miami Heat, told the team he can't play in a game because he was sick. And then he posts on Instagram his outing on a boat when he's supposed to be sick.
Okay, now it's one thing to call in sick and go boating, but then to post it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay, let me give you his record for the season. You know how many times he's been suspended this year?
How many?
3.
Wow.
Okay. You know how many times he's offended the team with his Instagram post? Twice. And guess how many games he's played? None. The team is 20-8 without him.
Wow.
Just trade him. He
Absolutely.
clearly doesn't want to be there, right? Doesn't want to play basketball.
He's had trouble everywhere he's been, right?
I guess. How do you motivate?
Cavaliers?
How do you, the paycheck's not enough to motivate these guys sometimes.
Remember years ago when Cedric Sabalas had to take some personal time and they couldn't find him for a while and he was out on a boat somewhere?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need some me time.
Le'Veon Bell a couple of weekends ago couldn't play. He supposedly had the flu and then he was out bowling for everybody to see.
Bowling helps the flu.
Does it help the flu?
Yeah, it does.
Here's a story I love. We have a mutual friend, Rusty, who owns a business, and he used to complain all the time. I used to be a partner with him in the business. He used to complain about how long bathroom breaks were for some of his employees.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And you don't want to, it's a private time for people. You don't want to step in on that. Well, apparently, the British, they have lots of time on their hands. They have come up with a new toilet.
Okay.
And the idea behind this is it slopes downward at 13 degrees. And what happens is if you're on the toilet too long, there's such a strain on your legs that you really can't be there longer than 5 minutes. But it's not long enough to cause any health issues, just enough to get you to want to get off of there and get out of there. Because apparently, when they took a survey of people who work in Great Britain, they found that Brits spend as much as 10 times longer in the bathroom at work compared to when they're at home.
Wow. And you know what they're doing? They're watching dart highlights.
Well, that makes perfect sense
Absolutely.
now, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
all comes full circle. I kind of get it, though. I mean, employers, you can't really tell somebody that they have to hurry up,
right?
When nature's calling. By the same token, you're wondering where John is, and he's been there for an hour.
He's on the John.
He's on the
on
John.
the John.
All right, you guys want to give away some free stuff?
Free
Let's do
stuff.
that. The first person to call 661-298-5487, or you can post us on Facebook Live at KHTS Radio with the right answer to my question, will win a dozen bagels from Western Bagel. The Lakers moved into Staples Center in 1999. The 32 seasons prior to that, they played in this venue. Is it, or was it, the Fabulous Forum, the Amazing Arena, Madison Square Garden, or Full House? The Lakers called this place home for 32 seasons prior to moving into the Staples Center. The Fabulous Forum, the Amazing Arena, Madison Square Garden, or Full House. Call us at 661-298-5487 or post us on Facebook Live. I know Rusty's thinking, boy, that's easy. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. All right, coming up, do you have a favorite Star Wars movie? I know you two guys probably do.
Yes.
We're going to share some rankings with you. And Adam Sandler, known for his comedies, but one thespian thinks he's a dramatic genius. We'll tell you about that. My Radio Show with Rick Garcia, brought to you by Western Bagel.
Tattooed on my arm in ink, I swear, 'cause when the morning comes, I know you won't be there. Every time I turn around, you disappear. I wanna blow your mind, just come with me, I swear.
The city of Santa Clarita has so much going on this year. Be on the lookout for amazing events happening throughout the year, including the Cowboy Festival, concerts in the park, Thursdays at New Hall, and the Santa Clarita Marathon. There are also a number of fun activities and things to do year-round, including outdoor recreation, hiking and bike trails, adult classes, art exhibits, youth sports programs, and more. You can even sign up to be a volunteer. Learn more at santa-clarita.com.
There are times when nothing else will do because you know exactly what you want. You want the Alamo, the taste of true Mexican cooking at its best. At Alamo, you're treated to a taste that is truly Mexican with an atmosphere to match. Enjoy a Cadillac margarita, try a mucho burrito, or sizzling fajitas. Voted the best Mexican food in the SCV and a favorite of former supervisor Mike Antonovich. Alamo Rotisserie in Granary Square, serving Santa Clarita for over 30 years.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call the Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Western Bagel has been serving signature bagels, sandwiches, and hand-roasted coffee since 1947. They're family-owned and operated with 11 locations across SoCal, including Santa Clarita on Bouquet and the Old Kmart Shopping Center. Western Bagel makes their own whipped cream cheese, offering over 10 flavors along with other goodies, pastries, cookies, and muffins. Delicious Western Bagels. Check out their Bagel Brad Deal of the Week, emailed to you every Monday when you register at westernbagel.com. Frontier Toyota, a proud supporter of my radio show with Rick Garcia, serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting 2020 Toyota lineup. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
Hometown.
All day long, constantly.
Your hometown station. 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
What I need is a feel incredible. What I need is a real love chemical. Wanna be like a heart that's painted in gold. Here we go. Wanna make these emotions physical.
All right, Rick, you know what time it is.
I know what time it is. It's Who Am I? We want to mention
I?
that April Duran is off today, and we've been lucky enough to have Rusty George from Real Life Church step in. He's the lead pastor there, and he's a huge sports fan as well, and he's going to help me if that's all right.
Oh, yeah,
Normally
absolutely.
I'm a big boy. I can do these alone.
Right.
All right, bring it.
All right. So this first one, he is 35 years old
That
right now.
doesn't help at all. That cuts it down to a couple of hundred million.
An American actor, director, screenwriter, and comedian, more so known for his comedy. Received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor in 2 movies, Moneyball and Wolf of Wall Street.
Brad Pitt?
No, sir.
Jonah Hill.
That is.
Look at the
a ding on that. Correct. Rusty with the come up.
Okay.
And it's not playing the ding, but ding.
Oh, man.
ding, ding, ding,
Short
ding,
ding.
All right,
ding.
what's the next one?
All right, next guy. He is a former American football safety for the NFL. He is the current safety coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. And last hint, he is notorious for being the man that retired Michael Irvin, unfortunately.
Oh, gosh. A safety who's now coaching the
Eagles.
Not Dennis Thurman.
No, sir. He's the current in Philadelphia.
We know it's not Ronnie Lott. He doesn't need a job.
Yes, he does not.
Rusty, you want to take a stab at that?
I have no idea.
All right, you got us on that one, Patrick.
Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill.
Yes.
Amazing. No, Tim Hawk. H-A-U-C.
Come on, Patrick. That Tim Hawk. Nobody knows who Tim Hawk is. I don't think his parents know who he is. Really? Okay, give us the next one. This better be better.
This one's a little bit better. He is another football player for the NFL.
Okay.
Wide receiver. He's played on 3 teams. The Detroit Lions, Dallas Cowboys, and the Chicago Bears. His career extended from 2004 to 2011, sir.
That's all you got?
He's notorious.
A former Bear, Cowboy, and notorious for what?
Notorious for being for having stints with the Lions and the Bears. He has played with Megatron. He's played with Des Bryant.
Not Herman Moore.
No, sir.
Miles Austin.
No, but I like your thinking.
That was a good guess.
All right, another hint. He shares his name with a very prestigious coach in college basketball.
This is like you could have said. Why didn't you say something like rhymes with?
His name is Roy Williams.
Roy Williams.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Roy Williams, wide
Okay.
receiver. There's the ding for that one.
Sounds good. Yeah, you got it right,
University
Patrick.
of Texas.
Yeah, there you go.
Alrighty, is it time for my headlines?
Yes, it is.
My headline.
All right, my headlines brought to you by Frontier Toyota. Lakers and Bucks in the NBA Finals preview. Giannis had 5 3-pointers. That's a career best for him. He scored 34 points. Bucks had their way with the Lakers 111-104. Lakers host Denver Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on Spectrum Sports Net. The Clippers hosted Houston, and they would blow a 15-point halftime lead. Russell Westbrook poured in 40 points to lead the comeback. The Rockets beat the Clippers 122-117. The Clippers head to San Antonio tomorrow night. 5:30 tip-off on Fox Sports Prime Ticket. The Rams cling to slim playoff hopes. They're going to be desperate when they head to Santa Clara to face the San Francisco 49ers. And that's tomorrow at 5:15 on the NFL Network, part of a NFL triple header on Saturday night. Rams have to win the remaining 2 games and hope for 2 straight Minnesota losses. And could the next 2 weeks be Phillip Rivers' swan song with the San Diego Chargers? The quarterback is 38. He's a free agent at the end of the season. He has 21 touchdowns this year, but also 18 interceptions. The Chargers host the Oakland Raiders Sunday in Carson at 1:05 on CBS.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
In a Hollywood Minute.
All right, here it is. Total Film Magazine just ranked the best Star Wars movies. They ranked them all, basically. The best. Now, Rusty George, you're a big Star Wars fan, right?
I am.
You're going to go, well, should I say?
Yeah, I'm going tonight.
Going tonight? And how about you, Patrick?
I'm going to go see Rise of Skywalker on Christmas Eve.
Can I go on Christmas Day? Is there anything wrong with
No,
I think
going to a movie on
no,
Christmas
I think that'd be just fine. Absolutely.
It's the holidays.
As long as you come to church the day before.
You're going to clear everything with this guy.
That's
now.
right.
All right, number 10. See if this, if you guys go along with this. Number 10 would be Attack of the Clones from 2002.
I figured that'd be lower. Yeah.
Does that sound right to you guys?
Yep, that sounds about right.
Me too. The Phantom Menace.
Yep.
At number 9. So
It's gonna be the
guess what's going to
prequels.
be next, right?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Although the end of that one was really epic.
It was.
What
I agree
happened
with
to those
Rusty on this
movies,
one.
though?
Yeah.
Why did they go so wrong?
Jar Jar Binks was in the first one.
Why does everybody dislike Jar Jar Binks?
He's horrible.
Okay. He's so horrible.
I'm still waiting for him to be a
Now,
Sith Lord.
They included some of the spin-offs like Solo, and that checks in at number 7. I liked Solo.
I like
Solo.
Solo,
Pretty
yeah.
good, right? Rogue One, which I also like.
I would have thought Solo was higher than Rogue One in my eyes.
So they're about the same.
But about the same.
Now, The Force Awakens, number 5.
Interesting.
From 2015. That was the first of the
reboot.
Of the
okay
reboot,
with that.
right?
Yeah.
And then The Last Jedi comes in at number 4.
I would have.
So the newer versions.
Interesting.
the-
I
I
would
would
have
have
thought.
flipped the two.
Yep, I would have too.
So you guys have a problem with what Ryan Johnson did? He's getting a lot of flack, but now he's having the last lap because the reviews on the new one haven't been stellar. The reviews. I'm just saying what the reviewers say.
That's true.
All right, Last Jedi number 4. Number 3, Return of the Jedi. So here we go with the
Really?
tried and true ones. Yeah.
So they're gonna go 4, 5, and 6. I would have.
Yeah.
they're-
Well,
No,
they're gonna go 5, 4, and
needs,
6.
five needs to be number 1.
Okay.
Really? I would say 6 needs to be
let's
number
find
1.
out.
That'd be number 2.
Checking in number 2 is A New Hope.
Okay.
Yes.
1977.
We know what number 1 is, boys.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, do you guys think that, I think the stories are wonderful. I mean, I remember standing in line in Westwood. My brother took me to see the original in 77. And so back in those days, you lined up outside the theater right down the block in Westwood there. Nobody had any idea what this whole Star Wars thing was going to be about. So
Right.
what a pleasant surprise. When I watch those today, while I love the story, do you think it holds up in terms of the effects and things? Because the effects are so wonderful now. It doesn't look like they're holding plastic guns to you and nothing's really coming out of there. But, I mean, what do you think?
I'll say, like, for A New Hope, it doesn't really. I mean, it's still pretty good, but it looks a little more hokier, I guess you could say. But when they went to episode 5 and 6, it feels like a little more. I know it's older, but it's a lot more polished. Like with the lightsabers and like just the guns and the graphics, they're a lot more polished.
But look at the helmets too.
Yeah,
they're
not as shiny. It wasn't.
They're huge.
They're huge. But like everything looked a little like not as like polished and shiny in New
All right.
Hope, and then you got to the other ones that look better.
I don't know. I think I look at it through nostalgic lenses, and I just say it was beautiful then, still is today. So.
Oh yeah, I love it all.
Such a romantic.
Yes, yes. It was the
when it comes to Ewoks and Wookiees. And,
well. Yeah, I have a couple of Shih Tzus, so it's like I have Ewoks in the home.
Oh, yes, they are. I mean, it's identical, isn't it?
Right.
There's I guess an internet site where if you want to do trade with, free trade or any kind of trade with other countries, you go online and you say, okay, I want to do trade with Poland or whoever, and it'll tell you what the tariffs might be for you to do trade with them or if you legally can do trade. Well, apparently on the website, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, if you were to go up and look up a country, you could find Wakanda, the kingdom of Wakanda.
Hey!
Wow. Which is hard to find.
It's hard to find.
I mean, very.
From
Always
the
hidden.
Marvel comic Black Panther, which I think is one of the better superhero movies. But they did that just to have fun when they were doing a test of the site, but they forgot to take it out. So there are people trying to do trade with Wakanda, and it's still they finally just got that off the off the menu there, but that was probably a
they
funny
have great
surprise.
technology there. You'd want to import
It's
that.
amazing.
This is an interesting story that you hear about mutual admiration society, especially when it comes to folks in the acting community. But Adam Sandler was telling a story recently of how he was shopping, trying to pick up some tennis shoes somewhere, and gets a phone call from Daniel Day-Lewis. And Daniel Day-Lewis says he was clinging to the seat in front of him, just holding it tight because he was so blown away by Sandler's performance in the upcoming movie called Uncut Gems. So it's a dramatic role in the part of Sandler, who, he has his lovers and he has his people who don't care much for his movies when he's doing the goofy stuff. But apparently the Oscar buzz regarding his performance, and Kevin Garnett, the former Celtic and Minnesota Timberwolves, is also apparently in the movie. So that had to be a treat to hear from the great Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you're looking for other things to do in Santa Clarita, first let's ask Rusty, what are you guys doing over there at Real Life Church? This is usually a busy time of year as far as activities, right?
This is a very busy time of the year. So we are having 8 services. The first one is actually in the books. We did that last night. And then the rest of them will be 2 on Sunday night, 5 and 7. We move everything to the night. Christmas Eve always feels more enchanting at night. So we're using kind of a Polar Express theme. We have a train out front. We have the Christmas Village, the Grinch is there, Santa, great photo ops for the kids. And the service is really designed around the theme that Polar Express brings out, which is belief. So what is it you believe in? Is it good news? Is it bad? Is it good for everybody? Is it real? We'll be talking about that at all of our services. And that's also at our Canyon Country location at Mitchell Elementary and in Simi Valley.
At the same, all right, that's great. There are other things to do in Santa Clarita if you'd like.
Santa Clarita Nights.
Hometown.
Things to do this weekend in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Your community station.
It's Menji, sitting here with my hot cocoa, just dropping in for your things to do this week. Holiday in the Park at Six Flags Magic Mountain now through January 5th. Providence Holy Cross Medical Center holds a plush animal collection drive for young patients. It's a Charlie Brown Christmas presented by College of the Canyons at the Performing Arts Center. Don't miss traditional holiday music with the Silvertone Singers at the Bella Vita Senior Center. And there's holiday tasting at Reyes Winery. Did you know there's even more seasonal things to do in Santa Clarita when you head to hometownstation.com and sign up for our weekly newsletter?
Your hometown station.
Well, coming up, the NFL playoff picture comes into focus. We're going to put in our 2 cents on who the teams to beat are. Plus, are we watching Phillip Rivers' final days as a Charger? My radio show with Rick Garcia, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Valencia.
Now the dude's so funky, hey, what do you think? What is it called? It's called a lakeside.
What if you could wake up without the burden of owing over $10,000 in taxes to the IRS or state? Call the trusted name in tax resolution, Anthem Tax Services. 866-630-2694. With over 30 years of experience in tax preparation and tax law, we are ready to negotiate your tax debt and reach a settlement that makes sense for you.
Anthem saved me nearly $17,000 and settled my debt with the IRS for just $100.
Call 866-630-2694. We are the only company that is confident enough in our services to offer a 100% money-back guarantee if we can't put you in a better position than where you started. All you need to do is call for a free consultation. 866-630-2694. You may even qualify to save up to 99% off your tax debt. Call Anthem today and we'll also take care of your tax case study for free, saving you hundreds of dollars. 866-630-2694. 866-630-2694.
Western Bagel has been serving signature bagels, sandwiches, and hand-roasted coffee since 1947. They're family-owned and operated with 11 locations across SoCal, including Santa Clarita on Bouquet and the Old Kmart Shopping Center. Western Bagel makes their own whipped cream cheese, offering over 10 flavors along with other goodies, pastries, cookies, and muffins. Delicious Western Bagels. Check out their Bagel Brad Deal of the Week, emailed to you every Monday when you register at westernbagel.com.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 2 o'clock. Time for national news on
Flu hits
KHTS.
hard. Security warning. I'm Mike Moss. With AAA predicting the biggest travel season in almost 20 years, correspondent Joe Ramsey says flu season is in full swing.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the infection has already killed 1,800 people since the official season began late in September. It's sickened at least 3.7 million others and sent 32,000 to the hospital. The CDC says it doesn't expect new cases to slow down anytime soon, and it's not too late to get a flu shot.
A TSA whistleblower says the agency is putting too high a priority on speeding people through airports and not enough attention on security itself. Jay Brainerd's concerns are being investigated, but the report is already several months delayed. The TSA says it remains confident in security procedures for the 42 million air travelers moving in and out of airports over the holidays. A disturbing story from Des Moines, Iowa, where Police Chief Mike Venema says 42-year-old Nicole Franklin has been charged with intentionally driving into a teenager.
Franklin not only admitted to being the driver of the car that struck this girl, but also that she had done so intentionally. Franklin told investigators that she ran the girl over because she was, in her words, a Mexican. She went on to make a number of derogatory statements about Latinos to our investigators.
Franklin was already in jail on a separate assault charge when police interviewed her about the hit and run. More than a week after her 33-year-old Austin, Texas mother and her infant daughter went missing, police now say they believe they have found the woman dead more than 100 miles away. But the baby is apparently safe. The suspect is charged with kidnapping and tampering with a corpse. On Wall Street, stocks were up today. The Dow up 78, S&P up 15, the Nasdaq up 37. I'm Mike Moss.
Do you know that mortgage rates have plummeted to a 3-year low and are nearing historic lows? At the same time, home values have gone up roughly 50% in the last several years. However, they seem to be peaking now. Maybe it's time to put that equity to work by paying off high-rate credit cards, personal loans, or remodel your house. Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Westland Financial. Let us put you in a position to do any of these things with no closing costs. That's right. Nothing's rolled into your loan, whether it's conventional, FHA, or VA, will pay your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. Maybe you just want to lock in a lower rate or refinance out of paying mortgage insurance. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to see how we can save you thousands of dollars a year. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. Call us at 888-455-3669. 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com. or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Western Bagel has been serving signature bagels, sandwiches, and hand-roasted coffee since 1947. They're family-owned and operated with 11 locations across SoCal, including Santa Clarita on Bouquet and the Old Kmart Shopping Center. Western Bagel makes their own whipped cream cheese, offering over 10 flavors along with other goodies, pastries, cookies, and muffins. Delicious Western Bagels. Check out their Bagel Bread Deal of the Week, emailed to you every Monday when you register at westernbagel.com. Frontier Toyota, a proud supporter of my radio show with Rick Garcia, serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting 2020 Toyota lineup. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
KHTS strives to give the Santa Clarita Valley all the information they need. And when our computers aren't working the way they should, we call Resurgence, your true source for IT. Resurgence provides outstanding customer service while also providing the highest technical ability. They strive to do what's best to improve and protect your business. For more information on Resurgence, call 349-4114 or visit resurgenceit.com.
This is a Rita's Daybreak. There's a huge crowd at Rita's. With so many amazing flavors, every day's a treat. Let's see what folks are celebrating.
I lost my first tooth. No more training wheels. My dog photo got 37 likes.
3 kids, 3 activities, 0 meltdowns. There you have it. Layer it, blend it, or drink it with Italian ice and creamy custard. So many reasons to celebrate at Rita's. This has been a Rita's Daybreak.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Another beautiful day, but chilly. Highs only in the low to mid 60s. Overnight lows in the low 40s. The same for tomorrow and Sunday. Sunday, we could have rain. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com or find us on social media at KHTS Radio.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
My Radio Show with Rick Garcia is coming to you live from your hometown station, KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM in Old Town Newhall, California. Now, My Radio Show with Rick Garcia.
Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to My Radio Show. I'm Rick Garcia. You are listening to us on AM 1220 and 98.1 FM. We'd like to say hi to our Facebook Live friends. You're watching us at KHTS Radio, and you can also find My Radio Show on YouTube, the My Radio Show podcast, on your KHTS Radio app, where you can listen to us anywhere, and at hometownstation.com. If you want to be part of the show, just call us at 661-298-5487, or you can post us on Facebook Live at KHTS Radio.
My headlines.
My headlines are brought to you by Frontier Toyota. Lakers and Bucks in an NBA Finals preview. Giannis had 5 3-pointers. He scored 34 points. The Bucks had their way with the Lakers 111-104. Lakers host Denver on Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on Spectrum Sports Net. The Clippers hosted Houston. They would blow a 15-point halftime lead. Russell Westbrook poured in 40 points to help lead that comeback. The Rockets beat the Clippers 122-117. The Clippers head to San Antonio tomorrow night, 5:30 p.m. tip-off on Fox Sports Prime Ticket. The Rams cling to some slim playoff hopes. They're going to be heading to Santa Clara to face the San Francisco 49ers tomorrow at 5:15. It's part of an NFL triple-header on the NFL Network. The Rams have to win the remaining 2 games and hope for 2 straight Minnesota losses. And could the next 2 weeks be Phillip Rivers' swan song with the San Diego Chargers? Rivers is 38 years old. He's a free agent at the end of the season. He has thrown 21 TDs to 18 interceptions. The Chargers host the Oakland Raiders Sunday in Carson at 1:05 on CBS. Well, I'm Rick Garcia. Patrick Suika's with us. April Durant is off today, and we have been so honored and lucky to have as our guest host today Rusty George. You know him in the community as the lead pastor of Real Life Church in Santa Clarita. That's right. That's our studio audience there.
Thank you. They're very gracious.
Yes, they are. You also know Rusty from his several books, but what you may not know, I mean, I guess those of you who know him know he's a huge sports fan. In fact, Rusty, you're Chiefs, Royals, and Lakers all the way through, right?
That's right.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Here's my question regarding that. How serious, let's just talk about the Chiefs, and I'll talk about my Rams. How serious are you about those games? Do you get sick at your stomach like I do when my Rams lose?
Yeah, I do. It usually kind of bothers me for at least the rest of the day, maybe into the next one. There's mind games you play. Well, it was a good loss. You know, it was a moral victory. We learned some things.
All the cliches.
Yeah, better to lose now than later.
So there's always next year.
There's always next year.
Oh, that's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah,
because
it is.
You know, and by the way, some people have to say that like 6 games in.
Right,
like
right. They're already on the clock.
Stages of NFL losses.
I'm kind of I'm bummed too. And does the family notice? Do they like say stay away from Dad?
And my wife usually looks at me at some point and goes, "Why do you put yourself through this?" And I don't know, but when they win, it's just wonderful.
So you're a very optimistic optimistic guy in church during services, a glass half full guy. But when it comes to your teams, are you an apologist or are you glass half empty?
Glass half empty.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Why is that? Why do we do that to ourselves?
I think it's self-soothing. I think we're beating ourselves to everybody else's comments. That's right.
My daughter gets so mad at me. We'll be at the Rams game, and it's warm-ups. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't feel good about it. Dad, why do you do that?
You just know.
Because I know.
Seriously.
We want to talk about this. By the way, you two guys have a lot to be let me do this first. Okay. The Rams are not out of it completely.
Right.
They're not out of it. And
they have a chance.
Boy, talk about a roller coaster. 2 weeks ago, they beat up the Seahawks, and then
all right.
Did I mention that yet to you, Patrick?
Multiple times.
Then
I
last
saw that
week,
game.
Yeah, you saw that. Then last week, and by the way, they looked like world beaters in that game,
did.
right?
They
looked
fantastic.
Like the Super
They
Bowl
truly
team.
did, yeah.
And then last week, they just get dismantled by the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It had to be a trap game in their mind. They thought they'd roll over the Cowboys and.
Well, and they couldn't afford that to happen,
No.
and
Right.
it has happened. So backs against the wall, break out all the proverbial cliches in this one. They have to win their last two. The Minnesota Vikings have to lose their last two.
Right.
And then you're playing your arch rival, the 49ers, who are one of the best teams in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Here's what Jared Goff and Sean McVay had to say about that.
You got to look at each play as its own entity, like I've said over and over, but I am confident that our guys are wired the right way to respond. I trust in this group. I believe in these players, and I think we know you've got a great challenge against the Niners, but I think we'll have a better showing this week.
Yeah, I know these guys. I know this team. I know who we are, and expect no different this weekend. We respond well throughout the whole season. We've faced adversity a handful of times this season and have responded the right way, and I don't expect this to be any different. I think we got a tough challenge up in San Francisco for sure, and know that we have to bring it, and we will.
I have to tell you, I have no idea what's going to happen. I really don't, after watching the Jekyll and Hyde that is my team. And I can give you lots of reasons or excuses why we're struggling this season. We've had, think about it this way. When you have a nice long ride to the Super Bowl like the Rams did last year, lots of things have to happen other than being good. And that's like, for example, injuries. The Rams haven't been faced with much in that category till this season, and they're facing it this year. They've got lots of young guys on their offensive line who are getting pushed around a little bit. So that's my excuse for them. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be in the outside looking in. You guys are both looking in. Chiefs for you, Rusty.
Yes.
And Seattle Seahawks for you, Patrick.
That's right.
Let's go down the list. I want to hear what you guys think. Number one seed, if the playoffs started today, I think the best team in the AFC, and I can say this because I don't have a team in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens. I saw them manhandle the Rams. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we've already beat them once, but that doesn't speak favorably for us.
Yeah.
We've beaten the Ravens and the Patriots, and if things play out the way they look right now, we would have to play both of those teams again to get to the Super Bowl.
Wouldn't that be something?
And I don't want to have to try to beat a team twice. And and the Ravens have something that a lot of teams don't. They have a great defense besides just great offense.
Great defense. And their rushing attack is unlike no other. Mm-hmm. I mean, they will run the ball, and if they can't run it, they'll run it. And they'll do that all the way down the field. They get into the red zone, then they pass.
Right.
And that's when Lamar will throw 20 times a game and have 5 touchdowns. It's usually all in the red zone. So you got to stop their rush, because I don't know how good they'll be passing from their own 30 or their own 40. That's what I can't wait to find out from those guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's that, because pocket passing with Lamar Jackson's not a big pocket passer yet that we've seen. It's all in his legs, and then it sets up his short little passes that he'll throw like Marquise Brown or his guys.
All right, so they're 12-2. Then they're followed by the New England Patriots. Rusty, you said your Chiefs have beaten them twice already. Not the same Patriots, but then again, people are writing off Tom Brady
every
season, right?
Every year, yeah.
I don't. He rips my soul out every year. So
I will raise my hand for that one as well.
Yes, you can.
I appreciate your honesty on that.
Oh, man.
Right, they are 11-3 right now. They're the number 2 seed. So those two teams would draw the byes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kansas City checks in at number 3, 10-4. Your Chiefs would have to, if it started today, would open with the Steelers, I guess, right?
That's right.
And Steelers that's a strange team.
That is strange,
Steelers.
yeah.
Doing it without Ben Roethlisberger, by the way.
Without Ben, without AB, without Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
This is a unique team with a decent defense. I think we win that game.
Yeah.
It's obviously, out of all the teams in the playoffs, the team I'd rather play. But then Tom Brady awaits.
So here are two teams that I think are enigmas. I'm not impressed with the Houston Texans at 9-5 or the Buffalo Bills at 10-4. What do you guys think?
I would say between the two of them, I'm more impressed with Buffalo rather than Houston, just because Buffalo's doing it without superstars on the
Right.
offense.
They have a better defense.
And their
right?
defense is like, I'd say, top 5.
But eventually you have to score points.
True.
Right?
I agree.
So I don't know why those two teams do not strike the fear of God.
It's all. I think it's more of a matchup. I think it's more of like a matchup game.
Did I just stutter now looking at Rusty? Now, if April's sitting there, I just say, strike the fear of God at me.
That's right. That's
I got to
right.
Oh, Rick.
That's good.
He knows where I sit now. That's the
That's
bad
right.
news. You know?
I know exactly where you are.
Far enough away that I can't hit him if I throw something.
That's right.
All right, let's switch over to the NFC.
NFC.
So, bottom line, team to beat in the AFC, Rusty?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Okay, I think we all agree on that one. NFC, right now, Seattle has the number 1 seed. I say that surprisingly, they're 11-3.
Yeah.
Rusty came with me to the game that the Rams beat the Seahawks. I only point that out because the Seahawks look very human, or less than, in that game, right?
They did.
And they're their number 1 seed in the NFC.
Quietly so. They've kind of snuck in there. I mean, there's all the hype around Drew Brees and the Saints and
the
obviously
Niners.
San Francisco. So
They're quiet.
Here's a team
Quiet team?
I think might be a bit overrated. Green Bay Packers
Yes.
at 11-3.
I agree with that.
And part of that is I think the dynamic between the coach.
Yeah.
That's LaFleur, right? I think Matt
Matt
LaFleur, who
LaFleur
used
is
to
their
coach
head
with Sean McVay, and Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers
He's good.
clearly does not like being told what to do by his
Yep.
coaches. He
Oh,
wants
yeah.
to wing it. He wants to do it his way, and he just is having a hard time accepting this kind of McVay Gruden offense
Right.
that's been deployed by a lot of teams.
And their defense is good, but their defense, I feel, is a little overrated too, just a little bit.
Oh, I agree. I mean, the Chiefs almost beat them
Yep.
with Matt Moore.
Yep.
Who we love because he's from here.
Local guy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shout out.
But, I mean, this is a guy a team without Patrick Mahomes, and we almost beat them. So
Yeah.
I'm not scared of the Packers. And like you said, all we have to do is wait for Rodgers to go rogue.
Yeah,
and
go
we'll
rogue,
see what
right,
happens.
exactly. And
Mhm.
I could see he and LaFleur screaming at each other during one of the playoff games.
Right.
Now, the Saints, New Orleans Saints,
Yeah.
they're the number 3 seed at this point.
They should be
10-3.
probably ranked higher.
And the only reason they're 10-3, the Rams played them, the Rams beat them, but that's because they knocked Breeze out of the game that
Yeah.
game. I think they're a team to be reckoned with.
They are. I agree with that statement.
I would be more scared of the Saints than I am the Seahawks
I
or
agree
even
with
the
that.
Niners.
I
They've been
agree.
there.
Dallas Cowboys, I know they crushed my Rams, but I'm not impressed.
I am
7-7.
so
I'm just
not impressed with the Cowboys.
I got a text.
No.
I got a text. Gee, I wonder who sent me this text saying, "Boy, when the Rams are playing Dallas and getting killed, boy, you guys are going to keep Garrett's job for him, aren't you?"
Oh, Lord,
Which
you're
is
the
true.
Cowboys.
49ers are the 5th seed. I think they have the best defense in the NFL.
They do. I
don't know how they've lost 3 games, but
right.
That just happens along the way.
That's-
I mean,
it
even the
happens.
Patriots lose football games.
They would be probably the favorite.
And then the Vikings right now checking in at 10-4, unless they lose 2 games and the Rams win
now,
2 games.
Barring that happening.
What do you think? Now, the Vikings, we saw them play last year. That
Yes.
was an epic game when they played the Rams. But they're another team that doesn't seem to, like the Cowboys a little bit, doesn't seem to reach their potential.
Yeah.
No, they seem to be kind of stuck there in the middle.
They really are, yeah. Because one day they'll play like world beaters, and then the next week they'll just be like, "Oh, Kirk Cousins did it again," or "Oh, their defense it's sloppy and just so passive." I've been watching a lot of them this year. It's just you see the potential in it, and it's just I think they could be one of the most dangerous teams in the NFC if they place their consistency defensively and offensively.
Right.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what people say about Dallas, too. They're an underachieving team that should be better than they are. All right. Those are the good news stories, the positive stories. Now, these are the stories, and I'm just going to rattle off the coaches that are on the hot seat. Okay,
Right.
I'm going to name them all. This is according to Yahoo Sports, and then you guys can tell me who should be on the list and who shouldn't.
Okay.
Pat Shurmur of the Giants, Freddie Kitchens of the Browns, Jason Garrett, we hear about him every season, poor guy with the Cowboys, Doug Marrone of the Jaguars, Dan Quinn of the Falcons. Remember, they were in the Super Bowl not too long ago. Matt Patricia of the Lions, Adam Gase of the Jets, Bill O'Brien of the Texans, and Zach Taylor, the new coach of the Bengals. Who stands out to you, Rusty?
I would have to say, Freddie Kitchens, it doesn't seem to me like he was the right fit from the beginning.
Yeah.
I would think they're going to go after Urban Meyer because he's from there, or Bob Stoops because he's from there, or Lincoln Riley because of his connection with Baker Mayfield.
That's true.
But in
All
my
college
mind,
coaches, by the way,
that's a great job that they just need to get the right coach in.
Well, they have some talent. I'm not sure about the quarterback. I'm not sure I'm sold on Baker Mayfield, and sometimes his mouth can be a problem.
Runs
I think
a little
for teams.
more.
Yeah, Garrett. Why does Garrett still have his job?
I don't,
He's a classic underachieving coach.
He is.
Oh,
And then he turns around, wins a couple of games, and next thing you know, he gets another contract.
and you want to know why he still has a job? It's because Jerry Jones demands it. He's just Jerry wants a guy.
Well,
that's
little by
a
little,
yes
though,
man.
Jerry has not given him the blanket approval as like he
true.
used to. I don't know if they lose to Philadelphia, I think he's done.
I think
Well,
so too.
how many games do you think he has to win to keep his job? Does he have to just make the playoffs, or does he have to win one game?
I think he has to win one. At least
one game.
I would say probably like win one.
And
game.
by the way, I wouldn't be happy if my team only won one game with that talent.
With that talent,
Yeah, I know,
on the payroll.
seriously.
Absolutely.
Some of these other guys, for Adam Gase, a little bit of seems like a difficult guy to get along with. The Jets should be better than they are. What about John Gruden? My Raiders buddies that are in the building here don't agree with me. I think they've underachieved. They had the easiest schedule in the NFL.
That's
this year.
true.
They've won 6 games. I think
they
they've won
have
12
to play
under
the Chiefs twice. That's not easy.
Rusty's got a point though.
And the Chargers twice.
Yeah.
And who else?
and the Denver
Well,
Broncos.
and the Broncos
they've invested $100 million in this
10
guy.
years.
10 years, $10 million apiece, and it's only 2 years in. So I think they've seen the long game. They're making the move. I think Gruden's a sexy name. I think they've got, this new stadium. They got a decent. I mean, think about it. If they still had, if the Antonio Brown thing had worked out,
oh yeah,
this team would have been dramatically different.
Ooh,
So
who knows though? For the worse, maybe. Because
I
that
don't
could
know.
have been. Listen, I think they'll keep him through that first year at the new stadium. But who's heard of a 10-year reclamation project? That's
Seriously.
usually you think 3 years, right? For
4
for coaches,
3 to 4. Yeah.
Come on, I don't. I'm wondering if he's the next Jeff Fisher. No, there was I know this firsthand.
No,
I went
I
through
know,
that.
yeah.
I wanted him desperately. Everybody wanted Gruden. There was a bidding war for these guys.
That's right.
And
Right.
Fisher was still stuck in the from the 90s.
Yep.
He had that one almost Super Bowl win.
Yeah,
against
the Rams. That's
Yep.
right. Here's a guy who class act, one of the more fun guys in the NFL, Phillip Rivers. He is looking like an old quarterback.
Looking like old man Rivers.
He doesn't look like Tom Brady, and he's one of the greats to ever play the game at that position, the quarterback for the Chargers. He's 38 years old, but he had 21 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. I kind of attribute that to the coaching to some degree and the offense, and I'm not sure all the blame should go on Phillip, but what is a guy who's 38 years old, and you got Eli Manning coming on the market too, possibly.
Yeah.
Where do these guys go?
And Tom Brady.
Tom
Well,
Brady.
we'll
I don't think
see.
he's going.
See.
I think
We'll see with Brady.
I think he finishes things out in New England. What do you don't? You think Tom Brady would go somewhere else?
I don't think so. I mean, if they still, well, first of all, Belichick is known to let guys go before their swan song, but it is Brady, and they don't have Garoppolo backing him up like they used to. So we don't even know who their backup is,
Well,
other than
yeah.
Brian Hoyer. So
Same with
Oh,
the Chargers. I mean, same thing. You can't name the backup. I mean,
No.
it's so that's a guy you'd hate to see. You want to see him go out on his own terms. You don't want to see the Montana thing happen, where he's
No.
amazing with the Niners and then kind of disappeared when he went out to.
I'm really
Kansas City.
torn on this because I know that Phillip Rivers is a great guy. He's a man of faith. I think he's got 50 kids or something like that. I mean, he's an unbelievable individual.
Yeah.
Trash talks without swearing.
Yes.
But
Which isn't really trash talking.
As a Chiefs fan,
Yes.
there's nothing better than
Oh, you'd
seeing
love
him
to see
cry
that
on the
happen.
field. So anyway, I wish him well
Says the man also of faith.
in the broadcast booth.
Rusty George from Real Life Church is our guest host today. Patrick's with me also,
Yes, sir.
as we are on every Friday. Coming up, the real life coach who was the inspiration for a sports movie classic is remembered. And it's the holidays, so be careful what you let your pets eat. Plus, we have some free stuff. My radio show with Rick Garcia, brought to you by Western Bagel.
Gone along for a while ride, and I can say, looking in your eyes, that it all would have been a waste.
Choosing the right coffee service was a top priority for John Hayes, owner of Hayes Plumbing in Santa Clarita. John's glad he called Sean Milligan at Professional Coffee Service.
Well, once we found Sean at Professional Coffee Service,
We've been very, very happy. We started using him right after our factory warranty had expired on the current copier that we had purchased, and Sean and his guys have been far and above better than the factory warranty service.
Professional Copy Service, 299-5756. 299-5756. The only authorized Canon dealer for sales and service in Santa Clarita for Santa Clarita. Professional Copy Service.
We try to keep everything we can in this valley. We shop local ourselves, and we try to use any local merchant as possibly can.
Call Sean Milligan at Professional Copy Service, 299-5756.
Call Professional Copy Service immediately. They'll save you a lot of time and get your office staff back up to full production.
Professional Copy Service, Santa Clarita's only authorized Canon office equipment dealership. Ask about our free on-site demos.
This is Bradley Gross from Santa Clarita Grocery. Santa Clarita Grocery serves fresh groceries to families, individuals, and those experiencing homelessness. In this year-end season of giving, are you looking for a charity to do the most good for our community? At Santa Clarita Grocery, out of every dollar donated, a full 99 cents goes directly to the needs being addressed. As an all-volunteer-led organization, we operate on a 1% overhead, receiving no government funding for our operations in the community, resulting in us being one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. If you are looking to support the good for our community, please consider partnering by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery. What is donated is specifically kept in Santa Clarita, helping over 3,000 families, including 5 other community charities. Please visit our website, santaclaritagrocery.org, or our Facebook, Santa Clarita Grocery, and or call our office to make a difference in our awesome town community at 425-7575. That's 425-7575.
Marston's Restaurant has been a Pasadena landmark, voted the best breakfast in California by the Food Network magazine. Discover Marston's Santa Clarita location, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Marston's also has a fantastic catering menu that adds a delicious twist to any event. And they cater picnic dinners for that memorable romantic date. Experience Marston's on Newhall Ranch Road and McBean, or log on to marstonsrestaurant.com.
This holiday music is brought to you by Providence Holy Cross Medical Center, your community health partner. To learn more about their award-winning care, call 1-888-HEALING or visit online at providence.org/holycross.
Mission Valley Bank puts the community in community banking. They strive to be your most trusted bank. Mission Valley Bank is happy to sponsor KHTS Holiday Music. Happy holidays!
Frontier Toyota, a proud supporter of my radio show with Rick Garcia, serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting 2020 Toyota lineup. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
Hometown.
All day long, constantly.
Your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220. Hometown.
Santa Clarita News.
Your community connection.
Girl Scouts embezzlement sentencing, Saugus brush fire, and Canyon high kicker goes all state. Hey, this is Jade Opsham with the KHTS News Team, and here's what's going on in Santa Clarita. A Santa Clarita Girl Scouts treasurer who embezzled over $90,000 was sentenced to 1 year in jail and 5 years of felony probation on Friday. 52-year-old Santa Clarita resident Patricia Castillon pled no contest to one felony count of embezzlement by a public or private officer earlier this week. Castillon has been CFO of the Beverly Hills Cancer Center and the volunteer treasurer for 2 Santa Clarita chapters of Girl Scouts. A brush fire in Saugus prompted a response from firefighters on Friday afternoon. Dubbed the plum incident, the fire grew to only a quarter acre before being put out. The far right lane of westbound Plum Canyon Road was temporarily closed during the incident. Canyon kicker and soccer player Jarrett Reeser earned Max Preps California's first-team All-State honors for his standout 2019 season. Reeser's best game as a Cowboy came against Hart High, where he went 2 for 2 on field goals over 40 yards, 2 for 2 on pass, and halted the return of the kickoff. For more on these stories and other local news happening in the Santa Clarita Valley, make sure you head on over to hometownstation.com. The first storm system to hit the west coast from the Gulf of Alaska is expected to arrive in Los Angeles on Sunday, so look out for rain over the weekend here in Santa Clarita. It's going to drop up to an inch of rain over the Southland. The rain is expected to let up a little bit on Christmas Eve, but there is a chance of showers during the day.
Rick's Replay.
La situación de tercera oportunidad y corto yardaje, tercer y gol. Los Ángeles Rams ya rompen a la línea de golpeo. En formación de shotgun, van a ir al aire. A la esquina, el envío completo. ¡Touchdown! Rams!
Boy, you think the Rams had won the Super Bowl? That's
I
Rams.
know, seriously.
That's a great win.
Rams announcer Troy Santiago. It was a win for at least that play.
Right.
That was Jared Goff with a touchdown pass to Todd Gurley. Tied the game with Dallas 7-7. I won't tell you what happened after that. Yeah. Welcome back to my radio show. I'm Rick Garcia. We're thrilled to have as our guest host today, Rusty George from Real Life Church. And this is a busy time of year for all pastors across the world, I guess. It's a holiday season, the Christmas time. And
It is.
Yeah. You ever get any breaks at all? Or?
No, that's why my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. We have no responsibilities that day. So I think for all pastors out there, praying for you guys. This is a crazy time of year, just busy. And with holidays, especially Christmas, it brings about a lot of nostalgia and also grieving. If we're losing or have lost loved ones over the past year, this is when it's really difficult, as well as an incredibly festive time of year. So a lot of emotions to manage and a lot of things, Christmas services, everybody has an idea they want to see them go down. They have certain songs they want to have sung and certain experiences they want to have. And if you don't give everybody what they want, then they go home unhappy. So,
are you saying politics? Are you church politics?
I would never say
everywhere.
that.
I'll say it for you. In other words, you can't please everybody. Is your
No,
you try
cannot.
your best. And,
Absolutely.
Also, there are people who are alone in the holidays. For those of us who are lucky enough to have our families around us, it's such a wonderful time. But, there are people out there that just aren't as lucky as a lot of us.
There aren't. And there's these moments where I think culture highlights loneliness, and it's when they show the constant Hallmark movies of everybody being together and singing and happy. We forget that there's people that are alone or people that are sick, people that are overwhelmed, anxious, depressed. So be kind to each other. We don't know what burdens we're carrying.
Listen, if you know somebody who's going to be by themselves, and I think a lot of people do this anyway, invite them over to enjoy Christmas with you. You really make somebody's day to if they can come over and hang out with a friend or a family. Maybe they can adopt your family for this Christmas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm using cue cards.
News to me.
Here's an interesting story. This is it's a sad story, but it was a happy story for such a long time. Herman Boone, the name may not ring a bell with you. He's the Virginia high school football coach who inspired the 2000 film Remember the Titans. Well, he passed away. He was 84 years old, and Boone was portrayed by Denzel Washington in the movie. He guided T.C. Williams High School to the state championship while navigating the early days of segregation. Now, he was battling cancer. If you saw Remember the Titans, it covered Williams' uphill battle to win the state championship over. By the way, they tried to segregate not segregate their team, but actually bring their team together by having players of all colors on the team. And then they had to go face all these all-white football teams. They beat 15 of them on their way to the state championship, and they had to overcome vindictive opponents, racist coaches, crooked referees, and actually each other. It was hard to bring them together. So he did something that I think sports is very good at.
I completely agree. I think this is one of the reasons we love it. We love the camaraderie of it. We love the emotion of it. I think this is one of the top 10 sports movies of all time. Would you agree?
What a great movie, yeah. And the idea, again, of putting people together who don't understand each other. Maybe they're afraid of each other because they don't understand each other. And now they're all forced to be together and kind of pull the rope the same direction.
Absolutely.
That's just the way life should be, don't you think? All right, listen, you have animals?
I do.
Rusty?
I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs. What are their names?
Charlie Brown and Lucy.
Charlie Brown and Lucy. And what are they? What breed?
Shih Tzus.
Shih Tzus. So during this time of year, the holidays, people, we never feed our dogs table scraps. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. We just choose not to do it. Every once in a while, when my wife makes eggs in the morning for the kids for breakfast, if there's anything left over, she'll give it to the dogs. Some people are very generous. I've been at a friend's house who his Jack Russell Terrier would be on the table, which used to drive us the rest of us up a wall. He doesn't know that, but he loved it. The guests were not too fond of it.
Right.
Do you feed your dog table scraps?
I'm afraid we do. Yes, they really enjoy popcorn.
I'm not here to judge. Popcorn. Did they get the kernel stuck in the?
I don't know.
I don't think
they only
so.
have a few teeth left.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But here are what the experts will say over the holidays before you start scooping up food. This is from Lifestyle, by the way, magazine. They say small amounts of cooked turkey, okay.
Yeah.
About a quarter of a cup, 60 calories. Cooked or raw vegetables like green beans, carrots, sweet potatoes, corn, and lettuce. Some fruit is okay. So fruit like apples, pumpkin, banana, oranges, strawberries, which I didn't know. The dog always follows me when I got a bowl of strawberries with me. Blueberries or melon are okay.
Oh, all right.
The no-nos, you all know chocolate.
Yes.
Everybody knows chocolate's a bad one. I didn't know this, but onion, garlic, leeks, I mean, that goes beyond just being a breath problem. It's apparently a health problem.
Oh, wow.
We know grapes, right? You've heard
Yes.
grapes and raisins. Raw meat or even bones. They're saying bones of any kind, cooked or raw. Bad idea. Let's see, macadamia nuts, avocado, and anything that's high-fat, rich foods. So there you have it. If you're thinking about doing the table scraps, it's got to be a good diet, Rusty.
That's
Can't
right.
just don't toss anything down there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Here's something that people, if you're of the Latin culture, of which I happen to be, we already know. But adding chili to your meals can ward off early death. There was a study done in Italy. In Italy and other parts, they have the Mediterranean diet, which we have been told now for years is a very healthy part of the diet. But they recommend putting more chili in these diets. They're finding that people who eat the hot stuff are more than 4 times a week were 44% less likely to die of coronary heart disease. And other things like cerebrovascular issues like stroke also went down by 61%. Do you like spicy food?
Well, as the saying goes, I like it, it doesn't like me. But I think the reason for that is because then you consume so much water.
that
Yeah,
could be.
and
true,
I think that's
yeah.
why water's good for you, right?
They also say like salsa, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you have if it's
Right.
salsa in general, that's supposed to be good for you too. All right, maybe it is the water. Maybe thank you, Professor. That's your theory, and you're sticking to that.
I'm going to stick with that, though I have nothing to back it up.
I can't handle.
Thanks for your honesty.
I can't handle.
You don't like
spicy.
spicy?
I can't handle.
Look at you.
I know.
I mean, come on.
I know. Like it's bad, Rick. Like even
Yeah.
mild. Like I'm just like you see my face turn pink. I'm like hot.
Oh, I just love
can't.
spicy. My wife's even. My grandmother would make a homemade salsa. She'd have these empty like peanut butter jars, pretty good sized mason jars, just full of homemade salsa.
Wow.
And so my grandfather, my dad, and I, we'd be sitting at the table, 3 generations of Garcia men, and my grandfather wouldn't touch it, my dad wouldn't touch it, and I'd be eating some, and then we'd be done eating, and then Grandma, after taking care of us, she was so generous that way, she would sit down and just pour the salsa all over her plate of food and be just sweating up a storm and doing this and eating it and this
Wow.
and trying to cool herself off, man. She just loved it. She loved it. Have you guys ever had any problems with porch pirates?
Fortunately, I have not.
Yeah, fortunately, I have not either.
I haven't, but I've had friends who've had to deal with this problem. There's a former NASA engineer. He came up with an invention. It's called the glitter bomb. And so he fills up these fake packages, and he puts them on his doorstep. And then if a porch pirate were to pick it up, he could set off and it kind of explodes, not in a way that can hurt them, but it just shoots glitter all over the place. And apparently it has a really bad smell, a very gassy, smelly smell. And that's his way of trying to teach these crooks from stealing stuff off their porch.
I love that idea.
I like
Don't
that
you think
idea,
that's good?
yeah.
I mean, that's the new kind of the new way of. It's like a pickpocketing kind of a
Right,
thing. Invasive, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
I like that idea. However, I feel like I would accidentally pick it up, be like, I'll be coming home, be like, oh, what's this? Oh,
Yep.
I got hit.
There you go.
I got hit by my own.
You're covered in glitter.
This new glitter bomb is 2.0, and 1.0 he did accidentally set it off for some of the volunteers who were helping him with the invention. So that can backfire sometime. Should we give something away?
Free stuff.
Okay, last hour, a Bill from Santa Clarita won a dozen bagels from Western Bagel. And we will say to you in this hour, the first person to call 661-298-5487 or post us on Facebook Live at KHTS Radio with the right answer to my question will win a $25 gift card from Hanu Coffee. The Rams won Super Bowl 34, 23-16 over the Tennessee Titans in 2000. Who was their quarterback? Was it Kurt Warner, Roman Gabriel, Jim Everett, or Burt Reynolds? I got to stop with the old jokes. Nobody ever. The Rams won Super Bowl 34, 23-16 over Tennessee in 2000. Who was their quarterback? Kurt Warner, Roman Gabriel, Jim Everett, or Burt Reynolds? You can call us at 661-298-5487 or post us on Facebook Live. First person with the correct answer will win.
Burt had like 400 yards.
He had in that game, didn't he? Against the prisoners.
Yeah.
What was that? The longest yard.
The longest
right?
yard.
The
That's
longest
right.
yard, yes, sir.
You know that, young man. I'm so proud of you.
Come on, Ray.
Adam Sandler did a remake.
Some culture.
Yeah,
that one's good too.
All right, coming up, watching his own movies makes this Star Wars actor nauseous. He's probably been very sick lately. Plus, more details on the new Top Gun movies, especially when it comes to those fighter jet scenes. My Radio Show with Rick Garcia, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Valencia.
Season rise when I gave the word. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets.
If you find yourself in an issue with the IRS and they're threatening you, or you can't sleep at night, remember this name, Anthem Tax Services. Within 2 months, they saved me $25,000.
If you are a small business owner or self-employed and owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call Anthem Tax Services today. 866-630-2694. We have saved millions of dollars in tax debt, and our goal is to reduce your tax debt to as little as possible. Call 866-630-2694. We are confident enough in our services to offer a 100% money-back guarantee if we can't put you in a better position than where you started. Call for a free consultation, and we'll also take care of your tax case study for free, saving you hundreds of dollars. Call 866-630-2694. Anthem Tax Services, the trusted name in tax resolution. 866-630-2694. 866-630-2694.
Find your thrill at Six Flags Holiday in the Park, the biggest and brightest holiday celebration with millions of twinkling lights, dazzling shows, and of course, thrilling coasters. Go to sixflags.com for weekday savings of 40% on tickets. Or for the best deal, buy a 2020 season pass and get Holiday in the Park free. Don't miss Holiday in the Park at the thrill capital of the world, Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Santa Clarita's hometown station, KHTS.
I don't care if you're here or if you're not alone.
You know what time it is, Rick.
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I? Rusty's going to help me. Rusty George with us from Real Life Church, and he's our guest host today, in for April, who normally asks me these questions.
But today it is me filling in.
The duties of Who Am I have been handed over to you. Take your best shot, Patrick.
Alrighty, so this lovely lady is a singer and songwriter. She debuted with her single Leave, Get Out, and she competed on the television show America's Most Talented Kids. She is 28 years old as of
Camila Cabello?
No, sir.
Ariana?
No. I have one more hint. She appeared on the movie RV with Robin Williams and was part of his family.
I saw that. I don't remember who that is. Does that sound familiar?
I can see the movie in my mind. I don't know.
She was the daughter.
Okay.
We got anything? No?
Yeah, I give up.
JoJo, the singer known as JoJo.
I kind of remember JoJo. Patrick?
Okay.
All right, another one.
Patrick, this better be good, or else April's getting the job again next week.
All right, so we have another rock singer songwriter.
Okay.
He has, he was in the 7th season of American Idol and won.
Okay.
And he has been he's still currently writing. He is 36 years old, and he has an album with that has his name in it.
All right, Patrick.
It's David Cook.
I was going to say David Cook. He's a Royals fan.
You got
I didn't know about that
give
one.
Rusty a chance to answer the
Kansas
question,
City.
Patrick.
Rusty, I'll give you an extra ding with that.
Oh my God!
I got 2 right today.
You got two out of our
been
5
miserable.
right now.
I'm usually
2 out of 20.
very
All right,
good
this
at
one.
these.
All right, this one should be
Yeah.
easy for you. It's a good one. This guy is a current basketball star. He went and played for the Kentucky Wildcats and was drafted in the 2017 NBA draft.
Anthony Davis.
No.
Carl Anthony Towns.
No, sir. Drafted 5th by
Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
No.
We're,
Drafted 5th by the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, yes. De'Aaron Fox.
Boom.
Who I was hoping the Lakers would have gotten, but
I know he's the better point guard.
We got Lonzo Ball, though.
You want to get going on that one?
Come on.
I always tell my friends, 5, 5, and 5. That's all you have to remember about Lonzo Ball. Those are his numbers usually.
Right.
And then 5 days off for injury.
5 days off, yeah, more like 2 weeks.
My headlines.
My headlines are brought to you by Frontier Toyota. Lakers and Bucks in the NBA Finals preview. Maybe. Giannis had 5 3-pointers. He scored 34 points. Bucks had their way with the Lakers 111-104. And they will host Denver Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on Spectrum Sportsnet as they try to avoid a 3-game losing streak. The Clippers hosted Houston. They blew a 15-point halftime lead. Russell Westbrook had 40 points to help lead the comeback. The Rockets beat the Clippers 122-117. The Clippers head to San Antonio tomorrow night. 5:30 tip-off on Fox Sports Prime Ticket. The Rams cling to slim playoff hopes. They're going to be desperate when they head to Santa Clara to face the San Francisco 49ers tomorrow night at 5:15 p.m. on the NFL Network. That's part of an NFL Saturday night triple-header. The Rams have to win their remaining 2 games and hope for 2 straight Minnesota Vikings losses. And could the next 2 weeks be Phillip Rivers' swan song with the San Diego Chargers? Rivers is 38. He's a free agent at the end of the season. He's thrown 21 TDs this year, but 18 interceptions. The Chargers host the Oakland Raiders Sunday in Carson at 1:05 on CBS.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Name that movie, Rusty.
Gladiator.
Oh,
Yes.
one of my favorites.
Yep.
That's one of those
Lord.
movies where every night it's on, and my wife will walk by. We're getting ready to hit the hay. Want to watch something on TV? She's like, "Oh, brother, again, honey, I haven't seen this in like 24 hours."
That's right. It's either that or Shawshank. Those two
Shawshank,
are always on.
Shawshank's also a
It's
fan favorite.
seriously every week, Rusty.
Lately, it's been John Wick, but Gladiator is
every week with Rick. We always play the "Are You Not Entertained?" Just every time he's like,
I get
I
chills.
love Gladiator.
I just love that movie.
It's a great movie.
All right, The Simpsons has turned 30. The Simpsons, can you believe that? They've had a record
30
of
years old.
670 episodes. That was a record for a scripted primetime series. I remember I first went to work at Fox in 1987, and they had, among their original shows, I was one of the first anchors hired at the local level by the Fox network. And at that time, they had a show called Mr. President with George Scott. Yeah. They were the fledgling network that was trying to be an upstart network. They had the Joan Rivers Show. Both of those failed. And then these upstart shows, Married with Children. Mm-hmm. There was another show, Tracy Ullman Show, which didn't do very well, but they had this little 5-minute vignettes, a little animated vignette called The Simpsons, and that turned into a primetime show and became a huge hit.
Didn't Bart Simpson actually start as the Butterfinger Kid?
I thought that came out after.
Or it came out after?
I think so.
That's where I knew him.
We'll have to check with the judges on that.
Okay.
But by the way, do you know the name of the show? This is before all of our times. The name of the show, although I remember it as a kid, that Simpsons passed a few years ago.
Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke. That's right. Gunsmoke was the was a Western. You wouldn't know this, Patrick, but it was in the 70s. I don't mean that to be condescending, but it was so long ago.
Yeah.
And it was a huge hit.
It was.
Back
On
then,
for
they only
a
had,
long time.
Well, they only
I've heard of Gunsmoke.
They only
I've never
had
actually
3
seen it.
networks. Who knew that Kylo Ren gets nauseous?
Huh.
Adam Driver, who I think is a terrific actor.
He's a very good actor.
He's in everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
Prefers not to listen to recordings of himself. He walked out of an interview, a radio interview with a place he's done interviews before, because they were playing a clip where he sings in that new movie called, I think it's called Marriage Story.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he warned them, his publicists also warned them, please don't play a clip. And they said, well, just pull your headsets off, you won't hear it. He said he hates when he sees himself working because he feels like he can do something to make it better, and it really bothers him. Now, I want to know how Rusty feels about this. I know that when our bosses had us in to look at the newscast from the night before, I hated it. It drove me nuts. And it wasn't, I didn't mind the critiques or anything. I just didn't like seeing myself. Some of my other colleagues loved watching themselves. I don't. How do you feel? Have you ever looked back at some of your services that are on your podcasts and online?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about it?
That's one of our practices with anybody who communicates is we watch the film the next week, and we kind of make critiques on it, and I hate it.
Isn't it so? It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not how you think you sound.
No.
You know, I always come off looking like Dick Van Dyke entering the room, tripping over the ottoman. You know that one. I just feel gangly and goofy.
And by the way, that's not how you come across
live.
Thank
you.
Sometimes on tape, but when you're live.
That's right. Live is so much better.
I always think live is so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard that before.
Oh, thank you.
Well, from me. By the way, so I'm thinking he's probably nauseous a lot now. Because he's got the Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker, Marriage Story, and another one called The Report. But he said that when he was forced to watch the premiere of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, he said he was nauseous, had to leave the room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that can be really
serious.
Borderline phobia, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Are either one of you Top Gun fans?
Oh, absolutely.
The movie Top Gun. Well, a new
Highway
one
to the Danger Zone.
There you go, a new one coming out, Top Gun Maverick, and what they did this time. A lot of people excited about this. It's going to be released next June, so June of 2020. Is they've taken the fighter jets and it's like the Super Bowl now. They've added at least six IMAX cameras to the cockpit of these jets, which are very tiny. I haven't been in one, but they put the actors in there and they actually make them fly real sorties. Or how they, I'm sorry, not real sorties, but how they would actually approach a sortie. And they want them to really feel the pressure, the G-force and all that stuff because they want it to come off as real. And some of the pilots love it anyway. And would you do it? Go in the cockpit of a fighter jet?
I don't think I would at my age. I think there was a time I would have.
At my age. I don't like heights. I've never been which is weird. I was a former pole vaulter in high school.
Interesting.
And I can't handle heights, especially in an airplane.
Yeah.
I think I could do the fighter jet, though.
Really?
Really?
Well, just because of the speed part of it. I think once I got up, I think I would be okay with some of the,
Still trying to picture you as a pole vaulter. I've never met a pole vaulter before.
I
didn't know they existed. I thought it was like the moon landing or something. It was
basically, yes, that's what. So the new Top Gun, you're apparently gonna like the camera angles better than ever. Here's what's in theaters now. We've been talking about this a lot. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. It's action adventure. It is sci-fi, rated PG, 2 hours, 35 minutes will be this movie. It's Daisy Ridley. I think she's terrific. Mark Hamill makes a return. Adam Driver, we were just talking about Adam. John Boyega and Oscar Isaac. I think they've got a wonderful cast. And a little description, no one is ever really gone. Rey's journey continues and the Skywalker saga concludes in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. The big question is, what do they do next?
I don't really know.
They've got the Mandalorian going on Disney
That's pretty
Plus,
good,
so I think they'll somehow keep making money off of it.
Was this based off of 9 books or like 9 chapters of a book?
Well, the theory I grew up with on the playground was that Lucas had come up with 9 stories, and he gave us 4, 5, and 6, then later came back with 1, 2, and 3. And so this was supposed to be 7, 8, and 9. But now, from what I understand, there really never was a 7, 8, and 9. And so it was up to J.J. Abrams and then Rain Johnson, and now back to J.J. for this final one.
And one of the, by the way, greatest investments probably Disney has ever made was buying this franchise, I think. Yeah.
Right.
And then also opening this weekend in theaters, Cats, the musical, Patrick. It's a comedy, drama. It's an hour, 41 minutes. Judi Dench, James Corden, Idris Elba, and Ian McKellen. It is based, of course, on Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical, The Cats. As a good husband would do, I made myself go to the musical with my wife recently.
And saw Cats?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right.
I've heard the movie is... and I'm not just saying from people I've talked to. I read a critique that said it's worse than you think, and this cat should be put down.
Okay, because I've seen trailers for it. I'm terrified. Like the second it comes on, like I'm just like it looks so weird and just so
it does look
unnatural.
creepy.
It's unnatural and creepy. I'm like everybody would be like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "No, it's freaky, man."
Well, so my wife loves the theater. She's exposed me to it in a way that I do enjoy it. There are certain shows that I tend to like the concert stuff more, like the Jersey Boys and Dream Girls and things that are more like concerts. I had a hard time with this. I didn't get it.
Well said.
The music doesn't hold up. If it was, I know it was great when the music came out, but I had a hard time with it. So we'll see people show up for that. If you're looking for some other things to do in Santa Clarita,
Santa Clarita Nights.
Hometown. Things to do this weekend in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Your community station.
It's Menji, sitting here with my hot cocoa, just dropping in for your things to do this week. Holiday in the Park at Six Flags Magic Mountain now through January 5th. Providence Holy Cross Medical Center holds a plush animal collection drive for young patients. It's a Charlie Brown Christmas presented by College of the Canyons at the Performing Arts Center. Don't miss traditional holiday music with the Silvertone Singers at the Bella Vita Senior Center. And there's holiday tasting at Reyes Winery. Did you know there's even more seasonal things to do in Santa Clarita when you head to hometownstation.com and sign up for our weekly newsletter?
Your hometown station.
Nothing like holiday activities to get you in the holiday spirit. Rusty George, what are you guys doing over at Real Life Church this weekend?
Well, we have all of our Christmas services. They started last night. We have 2 on Sunday at 5 and 7 o'clock, and then 1 on Monday. No, correct that. 2 on Monday at 5 and 7, and then 3 on Tuesday, which would be 3, 5, and 7 o'clock. So no matter what your holiday plans are, come check us out.
Well, there's a theme to it all, too, this time
Absolutely,
around. Right?
We're doing kind of an At the Movies theme where we take a movie and we'll show a couple clips from it, and then I'll teach and bring out some biblical parallels. And the movie this year is The Polar Express, which has some great biblical parallels in it. And in fact, the director said, you don't make a movie this big without knowing exactly what you're trying to say, and there are no accidents in this movie.
Yeah, and similar to the summer series that you guys do, is that, do you call it At the Movies?
We do. We call it At the Movies.
Which is a lot of fun.
It's
I
great.
love how you guys mix some popular culture into real life.
That's right.
All right, let's. All the high schools are on a break this weekend. Doesn't mean nothing's happening.
Friday Night Lights.
Hello and welcome to Friday Night Lights on my radio show with Rick Garcia. This is KHTS co-sports director Wyatt Smith, and this week we review the 2019 Foothill League Football Awards. First up, Golden Valley running back Jonathan Kalin was named the Player of the Year as he helped propel the Grizzlies to an 8-2 record as he racked up a Foothill League leading 1,555 total yards and 23 touchdowns. Kalin plans to continue playing at the next level and is in contact with several schools, but has not received any official offers yet. Next up, the Offensive Player of the Year selection was Hart Senior quarterback Zach Johnson, who threw for 2,788 yards and 27 touchdowns, while adding another 246 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground, on the way to a 7-5 record with the Indians. Johnson is expected to continue his football career next year at UC Berkeley. On the defensive side, West Ranch linebacker Zachary Van Bennekom was named Defensive Player of the Year. The Wildcat senior was a force to be reckoned with as he recorded 19 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. Additionally, Van Bennekom was a key part of his team leading the Foothill League in forced turnovers as he came away with 6 interceptions on the year. Finally, the lineman of the year was Valencia senior Owen Hand. Hand joins a long line of Valencia players to take home the honor, as the Vikings are known for producing some of the best linemen to take to the trenches in the Foothill League. He follows Valencia alumni and current COC football player Ben Seymour, who won the award last year. In addition to the Player of the Year selections, the full list of first-team all-offense and all-defense selections is available on our website. But you can expect more inside looks from basketball, soccer, and more each week on Friday Night Lights as we enter the new year. But that's it for this week's Friday Night Lights. Catch our segment each week on my radio show with Rick Garcia. And for all your Foothill League scores, recaps, and everything Santa Clarita sports, follow at KHTS Sports on Twitter, like our Facebook page, and go to hometownstation.com.
Rusty George, I hope we haven't scarred you for the what's left of the year by sitting in on my radio show with Rick Garcia.
To sit down and hang out with you and talk sports, man, this is a treat. Thank you.
Did you you gave us a movie review during the break? Would you rather not tell the public about this?
No, I would say it.
Okay.
Knives Out is actually a really good whodunit movie that has a lot of twists and turns. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were just talking about the fact that, and there was an article where one of the reviewers listed that as the top movie of 2019. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of under the radar right now. I mean, it had a big splash right at the beginning, but a great cast. Don Johnson's in it. I mean, he's Sonny Crockett, for many of us. So
there you
how
go.
do you go wrong?
From the 80s.
That's
yeah.
right.
Okay.
No pink blazer, though.
No, you didn't. Did you wear that stuff?
Oh, absolutely.
Like we all did? Sure.
Push the sleeves up and everything.
All right. Thanks to our guest host, Rusty George from Real Life Church. Thank you, Patrick, again. I'm happy to see you. Feel better, by the way. Aaron De La Torre is going to be with you on your ride home today with some great music. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you, after the Christmas break on Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Have a great weekend, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.